Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's webinar. My name is Stacy Wallace, and it is my joy to welcome you to the Empowered Living Network Empowering You webinar. We're very excited tonight to have so many teams playing in on this webinar. Very special guests this evening with a hot topic, building great connections through Facebook. Now, you guys know that Facebook is a tremendous platform for social sharing and being able to not only make great relationships, but actually make those relationships create value in the people that you care about most, as well as an opportunity for you to monetize your brand. Now, you've heard us talking about branding and relationships and connections and Solavei. Today, we're bringing it all together to how is that affected by Facebook, a tool that now over 1 billion people are using and using effectively, I might add. And tonight, I know a number of you are tapping in. You've been saying, Stacy, can you just give me the basics? Tell me what to say. How do I say it? And tonight we are very excited to be sharing that with you. Again, welcome tonight. And I am very excited to kick off the night with some of the best in Facebook, actually. I've been watching for the last number of months at who is actually creating authentic, valuable relationships. Who is what I would say a leader worth following when it comes to the area of Facebook marketing. More importantly, Facebook connecting. You know, Solavei is powered by relationships, and certainly those with the best relationships are going to win the biggest, even if they're new relationships that have been created with people you've never even met belly to belly. You know, tonight we've got a lot of new updates that are going into the website of empoweredliving.biz. I want you to check those out. Make sure you register for the updates. If you haven't taken the 123 1K challenge, make sure you do that. You'll see that there's 3 steps: get in, get social, get free. Do all 3 of them and then get back with the person who enrolled you and tell them, I've done the 123 challenge. I'm ready. I've watched the webinars and the tutorials, and now I'm ready to get my first trio. Of course, we've got it in Spanish as well. We've got new videos. All the new videos from Solavei are now posted on Empowered Living Network. You can go to the video page up under resources, and you're going to be able to see all the videos that have been put out, and especially you'll see that they have updated them, taken off the solavei.com at the end, and now it's branded Solavei only, so it'll stay within your funnels. Of course, you'll see webinar archives and downloads, and we're actually working on some new tabs, one of which is going to be how to update your APN settings, and we're going to have some really solid FAQs around that as well. Encourage you to check out all of the new updates on sharesolavei.com. You're going to see a lot of new landing pages that are coming out. They've got a new Orlando landing page to promote for those of you who are going to be going to Orlando or Las Vegas, so that you can utilize sharesolavei.com to be promoting your business all the way around. Now, tonight, I'm very excited to jump right into our training. We've got incredible leaders on tonight's call, and we're going to kick it off with somebody I have just absolutely fallen in love with, her and Jeremy. Many of you know them as being on the community. Jeremy is what I would say the tech geek, and Laura is what we call the face and the heart behind all of that, and she's doing such a great job. She is the president of HeartLink Network, which is an award-winning network for women that's in multiple countries all around the world. And certainly she's created a brand that is led by relationships. And so who better to talk to us about creating authentic relationships on Facebook than our very own Laura Wells. Laura, are you with us?
I am. Thank you. Wow, that was great. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're excited to have you and want to hear what you have going on with regards to Facebook. Now, I've watched you and have been tremendously overjoyed to have you on our Google Hangouts. And, you know, we always wrap the conversation around what I believe is your area of expertise. That's internet marketing as it relates to creating valuable relationships through Facebook and social media platforms. So why don't you take it away and tell us, how do we introduce Solavei on Facebook?
Yeah, and one of the cool things about this whole Facebook for me is that for me it's my playground, and I think that I want to preface this where if Facebook is not your playground, you can duplicate this and what I'm about to give to you where your playground is. So like a lot of people that I've talked to, they do all of this on Twitter. They do all of this on LinkedIn. all of these little tips that I'm going to fill you up with tonight, you can absolutely duplicate this wherever your playground is. For tonight, though, from what I'm talking about, Facebook is my playground, so that's kind of what I'm comfortable with. So yeah, and what I do, I use Facebook as a way to carry on the relationship that I've built either offline or whatever. I start with direct messaging. Facebook is obviously the first thing that people are most comfortable with is posting status updates, posting pictures, posting videos, and all of that. And Outreach Manager certainly makes that easy. But I think that doing all of that, but combining it with direct messages, actually sending a private message to someone's inbox, it just takes that from being kind of like scatter blast, sort of like a billboard kind of thing, and bringing it right in like a laser focus of, hey, I was actually thinking about you. I'm only talking to one person at a time. This isn't just a mass marketing thing. I actually thought about you, and I wanted to send you a direct message to share this with you. So one of the things that I like to do, and people always ask me, Laura, okay, you say direct message people, but what do I say? One of the things that I like to share with people is that when you're first messaging somebody on Facebook, obviously you want to cultivate a relationship with them. You don't want to especially if it's been like a year since you've spoken to somebody, you don't want to just kind of come right in and verbally vomit Solavei all over them, but hey, $49, it just sounds really pitchy. So obviously, speak to them like you were walking up to someone at a party, at a cocktail party, okay? You've got a glass of wine in your hand, and you're walking right up to them, you're introducing yourself, hey, who told you about this party? You want to make those, conversations with people so they don't look at you like you're crazy or just a sleazy sales guy. So obviously, start connections first, and once you've got a connection, a conversation going, I always like to keep it really simple, and I'm like, hey, have you heard all the buzz going around about Solavei? One of the first things they ask, one of the responses that I got was, Solo what? Like they have never heard of Solavei, literally, and they have no idea. So what's Solavei? You can say whatever you're comfortable with here, but I really encourage you to keep it really short, really sweet, and very simple. So I just say, it starts with offering people $49 a month, unlimited talk, text, and data on a 4G nationwide network. And I say, this is my little teaser. It gets them going, I like to say Solavei is the company that's put together the ultimate pay-it-forward movement that pays you back. And so it gives me goosebumps to say that, because when you really think about it, we are paying it forward. We're helping people. We're saving them money, but it pays us back. So it's the ultimate pay it forward that pays you back. And that honestly has gotten a lot of people to say, that's cool. Explain that to me. Explain how does that work. So this is the part that you pause because right here, when they're captivated and they're interested and they ask you, cool, how does that work? It's really easy at this part to get so excited that you got somebody to say, how does it work? That you tend to go on and on and on. So this is where I want you guys to be really careful not to say too much here. And you can literally, if you take notes of this, what's on your screen right here, I want you guys to repeat this part because it's working very, very well for me. I've talked to Ryan Lulf and several of our leaders that are doing excellent in enrollments, and this is the same method that they use. It's, hey, cool, I'd love to show you how it works. Hey, what's your email address? I'll pop over some information for you to check out when you have a minute. You know what? We're really good. I'm pretty good. I know Solavei. I'm excited about it, but I'll tell you what. Ryan Wirch is better than me at explaining what Solavei is. So I let him do all of the talking. He's created all these videos. Solavei Marketing has fantastic marketing videos to put out there. So I let that stuff do the talking for me. So, hey, cool, I'd love to show you. Absolutely. What's your email address? I'll pop over some information for you to check out when you have a minute. Then what I do like to say is, when do you think you'd have time to watch it? It's about, 2 minutes long or whatever, whichever video you're sending, 1 2-minute video, 5-minute video. Just say, when do you have time to watch this video? Cool, tomorrow, awesome. So if you watch it tomorrow, can I give you a call tomorrow afternoon? Perfect. And then follow up. So how do you follow up? Well, there's a couple different methods to follow up. for me, I take notes of when they say they're going to watch it. I actually put it in my calendar so that I remind myself when someone is going to say that they're watching a video, and I schedule myself an appointment to follow up with them. That way I've got a continuous calendar of people that I'm following up with. My Google Calendar is full of follow up with so-and-so, call so-and-so, third follow-up, fourth follow-up. But so then you can actually, if you're sending them a video through, for example, Outreach Manager, you can actually go into Outreach Manager, look up that person in your contact tracker, and see if or when they watch that video. So when they watch the video, you can actually see, yes, they viewed the video. One person I went to go check, and they watched the video several times. So I know they're super interested. They watched it so much that they probably showed it to somebody else. So always follow up with a phone call or a direct message on Facebook. One of my favorite things to do is to put the ball in their court. If I've got permission from them to follow up, I always follow up and say, what's the best number to reach you at? Or do you prefer Facebook chat for me to follow up? You know, what's the easiest way to reach you? What do you prefer for me to use to follow up? And that way it kind of lets them know, you know what, this is not all about me, and they're giving you permission to follow up with them. So that's kind of what I do to introduce through Facebook and kind of pique their interest a little bit. So then, I mean, to cultivate those relationships, you know, there's a couple different things that I do, and I'll try and be brief, but, you know, Facebook is so big. There are so many things you can do, and Solavei is so exciting that it's really easy to say too much. So what I do is if I have an offline relationship, like for example, this is a perfect example, you guys. I'm sitting here at the car dealership right this very moment. I actually am in the middle of buying two cars. I've got a 16-and-a-half-year-old son, and we're doing some switcheroos. We're buying two cars at the same time, and we've been here for 6 hours now. And the car dealer, he's on Facebook all the time. He's excellent at using Facebook. He takes pictures with every single customer. He brings his customers, he friends them on Facebook and takes pictures with them, and he stays connected. It has been 2 years since I've actually seen this guy's face, but I see him on Facebook. He is present, and he has made an impression. And that's a perfect example. And we came back to him, and I told him when I got here, I'm going to use you as an example, because this is exactly what I mean by bringing offline relationships wherever you meet someone and bring them into your online world. So I met him at the car dealership. I was buying a car. I'm a customer. He brought me into his online world on Facebook. He had actually shown me that he cares about his people. He's taking pictures with them and all of that. Now, if you meet someone online through a Facebook group or any kind of networking group online or whatever, take the time to bring that online relationship offline. You know what I mean? So like start a conversation with them in chat. See if you can schedule a phone call. See if you can schedule a Skype coffee meeting. You can have coffee with anyone anywhere around the world. You can turn on Skype, turn on a Google Hangout, have coffee with someone, even if they're in a different state. Now with technology, there is no excuse in the world to not actually have a face-to-face, belly-to-belly, even virtually, meeting with someone. So even if you are in the house all the time, you can still get face-to-face with people. And it really is very important to do that. So cultivating relationships through Facebook, you know, obviously bring offline relationships online back to offline. I use Facebook as a show and share. And so this picture that you're actually looking at, I love this picture. That was at the corporate office. I was one of the very first people to actually get to pin the state of Texas as an official Solavei member in the state of Texas. That was really, really fun in September. Anyway, so that's actually a great example, because that picture got a lot of people asking, hey, what is that? Show and share. What I mean by show and share is, you know, when you post things on Facebook, it does not always have to say $49 a month, unlimited talk, text, and data with 4G nationwide network with your link. It doesn't always have to say that. Show and share means get them wondering. Get them wondering what you're so excited about, you know. And Ryan, I can't wait to hear what he has to say, because he puts out some awesome videos where he is like, you can feel his energy right through your computer screen about he is super excited about something. And it makes people wondering, what does he have? And I want some of that. So get people wondering. Stories. You guys, no matter how great your marketing efforts are or the cool pictures that you put out there, stories sell. People want to know your heart. People want to know what you feel. People generally make their decisions based on their emotions. So using stories, I posted a story a couple of days ago, and it actually spread. It went viral. I did not intend for it to be like that, but I posted a story about my mom, who she's 69. She lives on my dad's. My dad passed away when I was 4. She lives on my dad's Social Security. It's about $1,400 a month. That's what she lives on. She's 69. She's retired. She's a Solavei member, and I've been working on her account for her, and simultaneously among our other ones. And here in next month, I believe, or the month after, I think it's actually next month, she's officially going to be a thousandaire. And with her trio pay and pass pay, she's literally going to double her income. And she cried when I told her that. So I passed that story along because she's been really stressed out over Christmas. She's been stressed out about every single birthday and holidays and stuff. Just money has been a real burden on her, and she's 69. She does not need that burden in her life. So I posted that story just about that's what Solavei's doing. That it's not about about the money and the phones and all this kind of stuff. I don't care about all that stuff. What moves people is what it's going to do for them in their life. And so when I posted that story, I got so many messages from people. Just both people from saying, gosh, that is really amazing, what a great story, or okay, I've got a retired mom, and they can relate to that. So stories do the selling. Another thing that Facebook does is it's always being present. That phrase, out of sight, out of mind, right? So in Facebook, it's the same thing. If you're going to be engaged in Facebook, be there every day. You don't have to be there every second posting like what you're eating for breakfast and stuff. But you do need to be consistent and be consistent in your behavior while on Facebook. So I highly recommend, getting a little personal, telling people your feelings, telling people your heart, posting inspirational stuff. I love Roxana Hanna. She always posts good stuff about food and stuff like that. That's what she's passionate about. But because she's consistent with those behaviors, people tend to know her. And so now, because I post a lot of inspirational stuff, I post stuff with hearts on it. That's kind of me. That's my brand. So every time now somebody sees something like pink or purple and sparkly with a heart on it, they think of me. Because I'm just in their mind. I'm consistent on Facebook and my brand, and my name is in their face. And I think when you're consistent about your message, that you care about people, you're on a mission, you've got value that you can offer to other people, they don't necessarily even have to think of saving money on their phone bill. But when they see your face and they see your message, it doesn't even have to be about Solavei. When you get really good at being consistent with your message, when they see your name, they're going to think, oh, I hate that AT&T phone bill. And it's going to make them think of you first. So just building your brand. Another thing is lifestyle attraction. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to build lifestyle attraction. And what that means is instead of pitching your wares all the time on Facebook, you want people to come to you saying, hey, can you tell me how you're doing this or that? One of, really great example is for my team. We call ourselves the BOOM team, and it's BOOM stands for breaking out of old mindsets. And so our BOOM team, every time somebody, shout out to BOOM team, by the way, hi guys, anytime somebody says something cool or congratulations or whatever, we say boom. Okay, so what this does, though, if you can create something like that for your group or for your friends or for yourself, kind of like the BAM fam group is the same. They do the same thing. I love those guys because they're always doing, BAM fam, be a miracle. That is their brand. And so what that does, though, is it attracts people to them. People want to be included in something bigger than themselves. So if you can create something where people are attracted to the lifestyle, attracted to the team style that you're bringing out there, they're going to want a piece of that. Same thing with lifestyle attraction. You don't have to post flashy cars. In fact, I think that sometimes turns people off. I kind of get, I'm get tired of all the cars and, all that kind of stuff. a lot of people get turned off by that kind of stuff. What I mean by lifestyle attraction is how much fun you're having. Posting, I think, little fun videos about, what you're doing, or, oh my gosh, love this lifestyle, it's so fun, or gosh, I'm sitting in a car dealership, getting paid. I mean, it's just really, it's a fun lifestyle to be a part of, both as being in Solavei, part of your team, partnered with you, just lead that lifestyle and attract people to it. And then team attraction, and this kind of feeds off the lifestyle attraction. For example, for my team, when for example, I ran a little contest, and I don't remember what we did. It was like the first person to hit 2 trios or something like that. Anyway, I sent out recognition. I sent out coffee tumblers and like a Starbucks gift card or something, and I sent them to a couple of guys on my team, and I put in a little note that said, hey, your business is really heating up, and I put a little Starbucks gift card with a Solavei tumbler in it. But I asked them, I said, hey, when you get it, post a picture on Facebook and tag me. What that does is it actually shows all of their friends, it shows their friends, hey, if you're a part of Solavei, this is kind of the cool stuff that happens. You start getting goodies in the mail. Look, it didn't cost me very much at all, but it created a lot of buzz for Solavei, that it's bigger than mobile service. It's a part of being in a community that really nurtures relationships and cares about other people. So Facebook, show and share, it really is a way for you to stay engaged with people that you're connected with. Direct messaging, comment on people's pictures and tell them how, their baby is cute and their puppy is funny and like all this kind of stuff. It really does. I believe every time you post something on Facebook that doesn't have anything to do with Solavei, when you can mix in those things, it actually speaks more about what you're doing, how confident you are in your business when you don't feel like you have to pitch every single post. And then when you do have some kind of, some buzz going on, when you've got some people in your funnel and you're working, your calendar's full of following up, this is the key. And a lot of people fail right here. It's kind of like hitting 3 inches before you strike gold and you throw away the pick and say, well, just forget it. You have to follow up. And this is so incredibly important. This week, I actually went back out and I'm kind of like stirring the pot. I'm re-following up with people that I truly have dropped the ball with. You know what? And I'm being totally transparent and authentic. And I started a message with somebody and I said, oh my gosh, I apologize. And I said, you asked me to keep you in the loop, which she did. In August, you asked me to keep you in the loop, and I am so sorry. I completely dropped the ball. But there's been some really awesome updates, and I would love to keep you in the loop now and kind of give you the scoop on what's going on. Can I send you a quick email? She's like, oh my gosh, absolutely. I was just thinking about you the other day. She got the email. She watched the 2-minute video. She is all over it. She signed up within 20 minutes, and she's bringing on her son. You guys, follow up. I don't care how long it's been. Call them. If you've dropped the ball, people love it when you're authentic. Don't act like you're perfect. If you drop the ball, tell them, oh my gosh, I'm such a dork. I totally dropped the ball and I am so sorry, but here I am and there's great news. Call them. Use Outreach Manager. Follow up. Use a video. Send them an email. In addition, to the Outreach Manager, send them an actual email from your actual inbox and follow up that way. Use Facebook. Post a message on their wall. Send them a direct message. If you've seen that little green dot next to their name, post a chat message. Send them a text message. How about that? That's actually one of the last things I thought of, is to actually use my mobile phone to send them an actual text message. So, and then when you follow up with them, be super casual. You don't have to be pitchy, but just say, hey, I just wanted to check in on you. I was just thinking about you. Just wanted to check in on you, see if you had any questions, and if you're ready to set up your account with Solavei. That's all you have to say. You don't have to get into this long old diatribe, but that's how you follow up on Facebook. Just be casual, be a friend. And my biggest piece of advice about following up, and a lot of people ask me this, is kind of like, how many times do you follow up with somebody? What if they're like ignoring you? Follow up until they tell you to shut up. That's my motto. I fully aware, not going to work for everybody. That's not your style. Roll with it. Pick the style that works for you. For me, I don't fold them very often until someone literally tells me, no, not interested, take me off your list, don't call me anymore, I'm over it. I will continue to follow up, but I'm not a pest about it. If they say no to me or not right now, or usually they don't ever say no. They've usually got a reason, like I'm in a 2-year contract, or my husband's not thrilled about this, or whatever. Whatever they're saying, I always try and leave them with a reason to tell me yes. I always want to leave that conversation with them saying yes to me. Honestly, it makes me feel better, but it also makes them feel better. Nobody wants to turn you down and like kick you in the pants. You know, they always want to leave you feeling good, even though they're turning you down. So on an ending note, if they say, no, I'm not ready yet, sorry about that, then I always say, you know what, totally no problem. I'm ready. I'm here when you're ready. Let me know if you change your mind. Do you, and please, again, use this, steal my words, do you want me to keep you in the loop of when something exciting happens? Rarely are people ever going to say no to that question. Rarely. So what I say is, do you want me to keep you in the loop when something exciting happens? And so they will always, like 99% of the time, they're going to say yes. That means you now have permission to follow up with them again anytime an exciting announcement, like Ryan just announced this week, iPhone 5. He did that video about the iPhone 5, and LTE is coming out soon, and like there's Orlando Regional. You can pull it out of the sky. Everything around Solavei, every new announcement is exciting. Use those things as an excuse. Hey, this is exciting. Was just thinking about you. You said to follow up with you if something exciting happened. This was so exciting. I thought about you and wanted to let you know. Boom. All you have to do is just give them a little piece. Again, you're just putting your name in front of their eyes again. And if they say still not interested, not this time, totally fine. No worries. I'm here when you're ready. Do you still want me to keep you in the loop when stuff that's exciting is going on? Yes. Perfect. That's all you have to do. So keep a running list of people. And again, I always say to them, I always get that permission, because if they ever say, take me off your list, I'm done, I'm over it, then I'll stop following up with them. I actually still put them on kind of like a little feeler list, just in case. I still post on their Facebook wall. I still send them an occasional message. It doesn't have anything to do with Solavei. When they say to stop following up, I'm still a friend to them, and that's super important. Even if someone tells you no, don't be emotionally attached to that. Okay, if someone tells you no, remain a friend, because no's sometimes really do turn into yeses later on, but you have to keep that trust, you have to respect them, and you have to keep their friendship. So that's what's been working really well for me. I really hope these tips help you guys. I love sharing this kind of stuff, so Stacey, thank you so much for having me on. Take what you can, use these little nuggets that we're all going to share with you, pull out the ones you love the best, and put them all together and make them yours, and make it a success. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Laura. Incredible, great meet. I'm just looking here at the questions that have come in, and just a lot of folks saying how much they appreciate this, because just getting the basics and actually being able to hear someone say, well, here's what I say. I know that's been something that we've just continued to want these webinars with the Empowered Living Network to be full of meat, to be full of content that you can play over and over again, that you can pick out certain videos, webinars, share them with your friends. And I'm just so delighted and honored to have all these guests on tonight. The next guest that we have, certainly we will call him wild, zany, passionate, eccentric. I don't know if there's ever been a word created that is really appropriate for Ryan Lauf. He is certainly one of a kind. And he and Caroline both, that's Caroline, his beautiful wife, they work together as partners building Solavei, and they're doing such an incredible job. Social networkers with Solavei, leading an incredible revolution there in Tulsa as well as in Puerto Rico. And one of the things they have when it comes to creating authentic relationships is they have certainly branded themselves in such a way that people know you're going to get rich content, you're going to get great support. They've got a great group called YOLO, You Only Live Once. And I'm very excited that they are such a valuable part of Solavei, valuable part of my life, and very grateful to have them on. Ryan, are you with us?
Can you hear me, Stacey?
I hear you loud and clear. And I know you've got a lot to say about Facebook, and would love for you just to, give, you're sandwiched in between two brilliant online marketers. And we need a little bit of we're actually about, I believe it's over 60% men in Solavei. And so you're holding the man zone right now, the man card for this webinar. Share with us how you connect with people on Facebook and why it's going so great for you and Caroline.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say Laura did an outstanding job. I enjoyed actually watching her go through the slides, and I just want to say I don't have slides prepared like she did, but I will tell you that basically, for the most part, every single thing that she just covered, I do that. And so thank you, Laura, for taking the time to not only articulate it, but to lay it out in a format that people could actually apply. I know that meant a lot just because I was not able to do that, and it wouldn't be my strong point there. So kudos to Laura. It was really, really simple. It was easy to understand. And I promise you, for those of you that don't know Laura, Caroline and I have been fortunate to get to know her and Jeremy. Everything that she said is just authentic. It's coming from her heart. It's not hype. She's not blowing smoke. She's really giving you what she believes are valuable tips, and they are as to what she does and how she does it. And it was incredible. So I wanted to start by saying that. I also want to start with some of my comments by letting all of you know that in my particular case, what I do through Facebook, I have actually just learned by being on Facebook. I have not necessarily been privy or fortunate to go to any specific class or have anybody teach me. I'll tell you, I've kind of went to the school of hard knocks. I first got on Facebook several years ago when we moved back from Atlanta, Georgia to Tulsa, because I saw it as a way, honestly, to try to find all my old high school friends. And the neat thing about that is at the time I got on Facebook, I really had a revelation about the power of relationships and how important they were to living life here on earth. And I just wanted to read you the definition of a relationship. It's basically an emotional connection or association or involvement between two people. It's a connection, association, and emotional involvement between two people. And so I can tell you that for the first 2 years I was on Facebook, I didn't have anything in my business or vocational life to be sharing with anybody. So it was 100% about me building a relationship, reconnecting. In fact, some of my closest friends today are people that I got reconnected with that I went to high school with or middle school that I found on Facebook, and we started going to coffee and having lunch. I then got into the car industry, and about the time I got into the car industry, I had another revelation about who I really was and how God really saw me, and I began to quit worrying about what anybody thought of me. And so I began to realize that I could post and share things about cars and where I worked that could possibly generate sales. And I actually had some people give me some feedback that they didn't particularly care for that. And as soon as I realized that was the message coming in, I just politely deleted it and didn't read it. Because I know what kind of human being I am, I know what my intent is, and I had no room for that. And I actually started averaging about 7 cars a month by periodically posting things about cars we had for sale and deals that were coming up and what I was doing. And I made it fun. We used to have a board at the dealership, and I used to literally post to people and show them how many cars I was selling, and I got them involved in my life, and I started making it a contest, and I started running promotions and giving away gift cards and all that. You might say, well, what does this have to do with Solavei? My point is that when I showed up at Solavei 9 months ago, 3 months before this thing launched, I'm just letting you know I had already learned some things about Facebook, and I was able to then just immediately start applying them to what I'm doing here. You might not have had the opportunity to figure out a few of these basic little things, and so you don't need to beat yourself up. Just take these tips that Laura has shared, maybe go back and watch this several times, and just know this. Don't care about what people think. Remember that you have wisdom inside of you, so you're going to have good intuition on what you're posting and how often you post and how you share. and just be a genuine, real person. You know, the nice thing about me is I was fortunate before Solavei that I had built a platform. I had been adding value to people's lives. I had literally started building a following where people would actually tell their friends, man, you've got to be friends with this Ryan Lelf dude. I mean, what he posts and what he shares, it's helping me. It's creating value. I'm learning things. It's causing me to see myself different. I was sharing things about my faith, about the grace of God. I was sharing neat videos, good ideas, and then intertwining all that, I decided I wanted to be an open and vulnerable person. I love to share my life. I love to brag about my marriage and my wife. We don't have a perfect marriage. We're not perfect people, but we are blessed that we are madly in love, and we want the world to know that, and we are blessed to have 3 healthy kids, and we want people to know that we're involved in all that. And then I'll be honest with you, okay? I don't use Facebook as a platform to air our dirty laundry or all my bad days or a bunch of crap that happens in my life, and so people can get the wrong perception. And so every once in a while, when I see an opportunity to authentically share something that can also kind of be funny, I don't know, it was about a week or so ago, and my 7-year-old, my 3-year-old, and my 15-month-old were all taking a bath together, and my 15-month-old basically dropped the big D in the jacuzzi tub with all 3 kids in there, and I'm in the other room. My wife's hollering at me like crazy. Well, folks, I took the opportunity to post that because I wanted a little bit of contrast. I don't want people to get an impression that I'm not human, because I am. Just because I choose to stay positive and choose to see the blessings in my life, that's a personal choice. It doesn't mean we don't have crap going on in our life. And that night, we had a lot of crap going on, let me tell you. And, man, we got so many people laughing about that and tons of comments. And so I think if you keep it loose and you just connect with people, I think that's the platform for how I've used it. And I can tell you, I am not conscious of what people think. I don't keep track of what I write or when I write it or how often. I'm not conscious of that because I trust myself, I know my heart, and I know my intent. And, you know, I've learned little things like if you put the @ sign in front of people's names, it tags them. Well, I did that one time, and I didn't realize it posted it on that person's wall. Well, they were polite and respectfully private messaged me and said, hey, please don't tag me. I don't really want that stuff on my wall. If you're wanting me to know something, just private message me. Well, that's how I learned. So then I learned how to be a little more discreet and make sure that I didn't do that unless it was someone that I had permission to do it on or I knew they were okay with it. I learned that, you know, you could just hit the share button, and then you could put that into your groups, as we've created a Facebook group for our Solavei team. But all of this I have just learned by spending time on there, investing time, trial and error. And yes, it's good if you can definitely be on a webinar like tonight and get those tips, and maybe you can accelerate your learning curve. But don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to try out things. The other thing I've learned is that I don't know how these algorithms work, and honestly, I have no idea how Facebook does it on who's in my newsfeed and who's not, but I have figured out one thing. It seems like if I comment on a lot of other people's posts, then immediately it seems like they start seeing my post, because I'll see someone and I'll think, oh, I haven't seen them in months, and they'll post something about their family or whatever, and I'll take that 8 seconds to make a genuine nice comment, and then it seems like the next 7 posts I put out there, they're liking it or they're commenting on it, and they haven't commented on anything in months. So there's something to that I really do intentionally try to make a comment on as many people that I recognize their name, that I have some type of either offline or online relationship with, and I really put energy into being genuine. It's not just so they'll see my post. It's not just so I have a chance to share Solavei. That just comes naturally. And you know why it comes naturally? Because I believe in Solavei. I think it makes sense. It's not a pitch to me. It's not a business opportunity that I just hope somebody I can hook, line, and sinker them with, and then I can go make a lot of money. No, I'm on the service. I like the service. I like my bill every month. I like the leadership. I like how the company's structured. I like the vision. And in my mind, it is worth sharing. So I have no qualms. I'm not even conscious of this thought that, oh, I wonder what my friends are going to think. I mean, it doesn't even come into my frame of mind. And so if you want to use Facebook to your advantage, just be a real person and interact as much as you can. The other thing that I've learned is not to just copy and paste too much. I do copy and paste at times when it's advantageous, but I'm actually in my second stint of Facebook prison at the moment. And one of the reasons I got put in there is because if you copy and paste private messaging, the same exact message too often in a row to a bunch of people, even if you're friends with them, Facebook will consider that spamming, and they'll block you from being able to friend request anybody or message someone that you're not friends with. Or if you're just friend requesting a gazillion people and you're doing that in a very short amount of time, they'll do the same thing. Now, I also think that some of it's unfair because this last time I wasn't doing either one of those, but I was getting a ton of friend requests, and I don't know if I just accepted too many or what. Anyway, I've been in prison for the last 30 days. I make that a joke. I laugh about it. People think it's funny, So I think I've just been able to take some things that most people might be afraid to put out there or talk about, and I've just owned them, and I've just been myself. And it's so funny because my brother and his wife were telling me the other night that they were talking to a couple about getting involved in Solavei, and they're friends of mine as well. And the first thing out of their mouth is they said, well, we just want you to know up front, I mean, we can't post and do what Ryan Lelf does. And you know what? You don't have to. Just be you. I just want to be me, you be you, and together we can win. And I am on Facebook literally as humanly possible, as much as I can be, because I see it as the #1 place where people are at. And I believe that all of my posting, my consistency, constantly sharing Solavei is not so that people will see a post, comment, and then say, I want to join. That basically rarely never happens. I see that as branding. I walked into a cell phone store the other day. I didn't know anybody in that store, and a guy literally said, you're Mr. YOLO, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, who are you? And so he said, oh, I'm friends with you on Facebook, man. I follow you all the time. So he literally he recognizes YOLO and Ryan Lelf. I literally the other day was somewhere else, and someone said, you're the Solavei guy. And I was like, yeah, that's me, baby. So by just doing that so often, it's created a brand. And then just like Laura taught, I will literally sit down many a times at night after my kids have gone to bed and spend 2 or 3 hours looking at who is online and start getting into chats. The other night, I think I had 17 or 18 chats open, and I was literally engaged in question answering and have you seen this video? And then some of them turned to more personal conversations. I am 100% comfortable that if a person does not take the bait and is not ready to engage in a Solavei conversation, I am happy to just have a regular conversation with them. So I didn't have it structured out like Laura did, but hopefully you get the heartbeat behind the fact that her and I basically do the same thing. She did a phenomenal job of laying out the tools. I hope you hear my heart, and I hope that was valuable. Thanks for having me on, Stacy.
Well, Ryan, we so appreciate it. You're such an incredible leader, and I know tonight we are actually going to, if you are listening for the first time, I want to invite you to take the step and join us in Solavei. It's very simple. We have a little saying called get in, get social, and get free. What that means is become a member with Solavei and make sure that you are plugged into not only your team, your upline team, no matter who you're with. You may get on one of these calls and say, oh my goodness, I want to be a part of Stacy's group, or oh, I want to be a part of Laura's group. The great thing about it is you plug in right where you are. These webinars are for you. The day I was the first person in the system with Solavei, the first member to go in, and I said, I want to create one team. And I am so thrilled when I see guys like Ryan Lelf and Jose Miranda and Laura Wells and James Linhart, Gary Craig, Danny Chambers, and the list goes on and on of leaders that are all so supportive and collaborative with one another. So get in and plug into the resources. EmpoweredLiving.biz is a great resource. It's for you. We've created that so that you will have a go-to training spot and call it your own. The next thing is to get social. Start sharing it with your friends, your family. I was watching today My mother, Donna Wirch, was hosting a um, uh, estate sale, and I'm watching. She is social with everybody. Everything Laura talked about on Facebook, she does on Facebook and in real life. And I was watching as Laura was going through that checklist, thinking that is why my mother has such a huge network, is because she's so social. She shares with everybody, and that's what you want to do. And number 3, get free. We want to help you get free mobile service. Learn how you can make $60 a month just by sharing Solavei with 9 people. Get them to switch over. And then we want to show you how to actually go for freedom, become a thousandaire, and climb the ranks within Solavei so that you can begin to really live the life that you've always dreamed about. I just want to thank you for being a part with us tonight. So very grateful to have you here. Look forward to having you back next week for Empowering You. Make sure you check empoweredliving.biz. You can see our full schedule. Monday nights is going to be a brand new social. It's called a super social. Monday night at 6 p.m. You can actually go to empoweredliving.biz/social. It's going to be a live social followed by updates, clearly designed for new people as well as those members who are wanting to get in on what's hot. Then, of course, we've got the rest of our calls, webinars, radio shows posted there on empoweredliving.biz. We encourage you to check it out. Remember, now is the time, this is the place, and you are the ones to start the revolution. My name is Stacey Wallace, and I'm believing the best for you. Good night, everyone.